Hello, everybody, and welcome finally to my F1, my team 2022 career mode. I've been putting this off for a little bit. I've just been waiting to kind of get used to the new handling model to finally start a career mode, but I finally got to it. I've been putting it off way too long, so I'm finally doing it. And so there is the schedule that I'm going to be doing for pretty much every single season. Except I may swap out, like, I'll do USA one season and then Miami one another season and then have, like, Hungary in there or something like that. But other than that, this will most likely be the main schedule that I will do because it's just easier on me. I don't have to do so many races and there's so many tracks that I'm not good at. So it's just a lot easier as I make my avatar here. I just go with my simple avatar that I do every single game. This character, American, blah blah blah. All this stuff's really not too important. Put my name in. Probably could have left all this out, but it's too late for that. So I'm just I don't have a script, so I'm just talking because it's just more fun, to be honest, just to just go off of it. No audio name because they don't have like anything. And my number, I go with 8. Normally I'll go with 7 or 8. I want to go with 11, but Sergio Perez already uses that. And so, my sponsor I'm going to use Saren. It's finished 6 or better in the Constructors' Championship. I feel like that's a good goal since I'm starting out as a midfield team. And we go with Red Bull Powertrains because I have an idea in mind for my team name. As I'm going to be partnering up with Mark Webber for Gianni Weber Racing. That's my team. That's why I'm doing Red Bull Powertrains because he was always a Red Bull driver. And for teammate, I was thinking about doing Dan Ticktum, but I decided to go with Christian Lundgaard because I wanted to go with not the best driver that's out there, but like, yeah, well, just a solid starter, I guess, because I don't want to spend too much money because I want to have money saved. And I skipped over my livery, and here it is. I personally think it looks really good. It's one of the liveries I use when I do online racing, and I just always love the simplicity of it. Or I think that's the word. And so we have whatever this guy's name is. I can't even remember. Ask me some boring questions that I have to answer about, to get like higher spec levels and stuff, like on the chassis and aerodynamics, and ask me about like managing team and driving for. It's really stupid, to be honest with you. I wished you could like skip over it. How like when you do a driver career mode, you can like. I wish you could skip over whenever he's talking in the paddock. What is his name? Yo, I'm drawing a blank. But I waited a long time for like no reason. And let's talk about your teammate. It's clear that they have excited to sign with you, but tell me, okay, I can't even talk. So you've also been putting a lot of work into the car. How do you expect it to feel out there? I did a lot of stuff about chassis because chassis is one of like, because with the new handling model for the next generation of cars, it's a lot harder to drive. For me personally, it's just easier to have a lighter car. So, yeah. Most of the other teams can boast years of experience in Formula One. Where do you see opportunities to make those vital performance gains you need to put yourself within reach of other cars? I did fuel loads to, like I said, I was trying to make sure that the weight would be down, so we have a lot of upgrades on chassis. And for this one, ultimate, your success is going to come down to whether you can take positions. And I always do the durability one because I always want a little bit of stuff about durability, but I chose not to do durability. I did aerodynamics. Excuse me. And I did a lot of takes on like on the actual races because I'm not that good at this game, so. Had one race, then I accidentally got off of the game, and so I couldn't do that race anymore, so I had to start a whole new one. But, yeah, thank you, Mark Webber. That's not your name. Why did I say his name was Mark Webber? I don't know, I hope you guys enjoy this commentary, because it's literally just me talking, like, literally the whole time. There'll be a couple cuts. But now here we are in the HQ. As we get to take a look at that just absolute beautiful car, I want you guys to tell me what you think about it in the comments below, because I think the car is really nice. And when I made it originally, I took like a lot of time to make it. So, yeah, I'm still admiring this beautiful car. I got $5.4 million. So, yeah, that'll be enough to maybe do some facility upgrades. I don't think it will, though, because I mean, I could do it on like aerodynamics, but everything's already at 1 since they did because we did a midfield competitor. So the cost for facility upgrades are going to be a lot more. As I do my activities. I do the driver training camp to get Christian Lundgaard boosted up just a little bit more, and then I do preseason merchandise sales, so I get a little bit of extra money. But other than that, I can't do any upgrades. And for our sponsors, since I do our team to start off with 5 acclaim, I looked through the sponsors. I don't know which one to do. I'm thinking about doing Highland, but before I do that, I gotta like confirm, look at all the other sponsors first before I choose to do anything. Top 10 finish, I was thinking about doing that one as a second sponsor. Opaque, however you say it, I don't know. Top 12, cut in the corner. A lot of these are a little too easy, like beat Rival during a race or do 10 laps for practice. So I wanted something a little bit challenging. So that's why I did Highland, overtake 5 drivers within a race. So yeah, that was a pretty easy choice there. I just wanted to make sure there were none other like things that I wanted to do. And then when it comes to the driver market, I always put 2 people on my watch list before the first round of the season, which is Valtteri Bottas and Daniel Ricciardo, as they're 2 very good drivers and they don't cost too much money. So if I just save up enough money, I'll be able to grab those 2 drivers during the free agency at the end of the season. As now we go to the R&D menu and we go ahead and do some R&D upgrades. We do a chassis upgrade that'll take 700 of my R&D points, 20% failure. Um, so that's our first upgrade. We go through the time. So we do the driver training camp, weekly resources, and running cost. So get some money there. We get a little more couple more R&D points. So then we go to the contracts, and I buy power mapping, development feedback, and the social media team. I boost them all up by 1. I don't have enough to go up by 2 because I don't have enough claim. And I check the facilities, and I see if there's any things I can upgrade. I probably could, but I decided not to at this point as they're very expensive. They would take about all my money just to do one on like the aerodynamics. And so we do another chassis upgrade on dampers, and then we head back to the overview, and central underway does fail, so we go to redo that, but sadly it won't be able to come in before the next Grand Prix, or before this Grand Prix, so we won't have it for Bahrain, but we will have it for Jeddah. I just ripped ass. Oh god. As we go into the race weekend, as Bahrain has always been one of my better tracks, so as we jump right into after practice, I forgot what I did, so that's why this commentary sucks ass. But I'm having fun with it. So there are the developments. We got 1,500 R&D points, so that should be enough for some upgrades after this race. So yep, Team Acclaim goes up to 6. Mine gets up a little bit, and Christian Lundgaard's already is just at a 5. As we head now into qualifying, finally. As we get a look at the beautiful Bahrain circuit as we come out for our first flying lap here, and just the car looks so great under the lights at Bahrain. You can see my American helmet, which I'll be rocking for the whole season. We dive down into turn 1, hit the apex just right. We go a tiny little bit wide, so we lose a little bit of time through that first corner. We mess up the line there, but activate DRS as we come flying through the third corner. Yeah, third corner. As we hit this tricky little part of Bahrain. One of the people really don't like it, but I find it pretty fun to drive, especially when you don't make a mistake there. As we dive down into the little lunge, as we go through the most tricky part of this track, in my opinion, that turn. As this turn for me has given me plenty of struggles on this game. I've got stuck on that curb plenty of times. I spun out on that curb plenty of times, but luckily nothing like that happens in this race. So we come down the last straightaway before the first straightaway. As we take a little bit of curb before we enter that corner, but we come flying off the corner. Very good lap in my opinion. I feel like it was a pretty good lap, as it's a 1:31, which is not bad. We're in front of Verstappen and Guan Yu Zhou. As we take a look at the pecking order here, it's Kevin Magnussen rounding out the top 10. And Christian Lundgaard is down in 21st, which is really not that good compared to where I am in 11. That's 10 spots below my spot, so hopefully he can improve later as we come out for a second flying lap, just to make sure that we are safely into Q2 as we pass by Lance Stroll, who just got done with his flying lap. There's only 14 seconds left remaining in the session. As I think we already gained 2/10 here in the first sector, so a lot better already. as we go through this tight little part of the track. And we gain this part of the lap. I'm so sorry, y'all. At this part of the lap, we're already up like 4 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths right now as we go down the backstretch. And then into the start of the third sector, we're up 5 tenths now. As we go down the last straightaway. As Ricardo has overtaken us for, we're down to 14th now. Schumacher's in 15th and Albon in 16th. As we go through the last corner, we gain a little bit more time as we didn't take that curb to the left. And we come flying down the front stretch, and as we cross the line, it is a 1:30.544, and it's P8 for Q1, so very good lap, a lot better than the first lap, as it's Lewis Hamilton and George Russell grounding at the top, and Christian Lundgaard is out. He did improve, but not enough, as he's in 21st. Hopefully he can bounce back in the race as we start our one and only flying lap in Q2, as I want to save a set of tires in case we do get into Q3. Only 45 seconds left in this session as we cross the line. It's Schumacher, Tsunoda, Joe, and Albon in 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. And now it's Ricardo down to 12th as some people have overtaken him as we go through the tight little S's part of the track and we go down the back stretch now. As it's right now, it's 54 seconds so far. It's looking pretty good as Albon's in 15th and we're in 16th still. Ricardo, the whole top 15 has barely changed so far. As we go through the last corner down the front stretch, and it felt like a very good lap. It's so faster than our Q3 lap, our Q1 lap. It's actually a little bit slower, but only P14 here at Bahrain. So we will have our work cut out for us in the race. As we take a look at the top 10, 15, Max Verstappen on pole for Q2 as we head down to the race.
Months of rumour and speculation all comes to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Sir Lewis Hamilton and Russell, Norris, Fernando Alonso, Magnussen and Pierre Gasly, Mick Schumacher, Ricardo, Guan Yu Zhou, the owner driver, Tsunoda, Albon, Lance Stroll and Esteban Ocon, Bottas, Vettel, Lundgaard and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice. They've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
As that was our pre-race stuff, as Carlos Sainz is a front row lockout for Ferrari. It's Carlos Sainz on pole and Charles Leclerc in second. It's really good for them. Why am I paused on the game? What was I doing here? Oh, I don't know. Don't ask me. I was just paused. So now we come down to the 5 red lights here for the first race of this 2021 season. The lights are out, and away we go here at Bahrain as we get a good start on Guan Yu Zhou, and Schumacher slow off the line as he gets held up by he holds up Guan Yu Zhou as Ricardo dives down, and so do I. Not Mick Schumacher. I'm so sorry, guys. Kevin Magnussen locks up as we're gonna go dancing around the outside of them and Alonso. Nice overtake on Alonso there. As now we come down this straightaway as we come off the corner there, as we're gonna be around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo. No contact made. We're going to be able to make the overtake down after the first sector. So We're gonna go diving down into this downhill corner here. We take a little bit of curve, but not too much that it'll affect our race. As Daniel Ricciardo is gonna take a look on the outside. This is not a smart place to make an overtake as we push him out wide and he goes off the track. Definitely not our fault. He tried to make an overtake at a place you really can't overtake here at Bahrain. As now Gasly is gonna take a look on our inside here through the start of the third sector. As he's gonna take a dive down, but he's not gonna be able to make that move. As again, not an amazing place to overtake, but we're going to be still side by side down through the final straightaway before the final corner. As now Kevin Magnussen is also going to look through wide as Pierre Gasly goes deep and pushes me way off track, and I'm going to have to keep going and stay in it. As now we're on to lap 2, and Daniel Ricciardo is going to be making a dive down our inside as there's still no DRS. That was only lap 2, so we're going to have to try to fight and hold on to this position so we can stay in P8. We take advantage of the track limits a little bit. And after we make the overtake, after that, Daniel Ricciardo is gonna, not until lap 7, Daniel Ricciardo is gonna come back at us and try to make another overtake here with DRS. We're gonna let him go through a little bit. We make a little bit of contact, and we check for damage, but luckily we have no damage, so we're all good. But we come to the front stretch now, and we have DRS. We're using our ERS, as now we're gonna take a look to the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, dive down, side by side through the first corner. We go a little deep, but we're able to make the overtake. And after that overtake, nothing really happens as we're able to stay in front of him because we had DRS. As we cut to lap 12, as Alexander Albon has gone up past Daniel Ricciardo. He's going to go flying past us. He just absolutely blew the doors off us. As the AI have overpowered AI speed, our front stretch speed, or straightaway speed, as I should say. But we're going to go make a move around the outside. We are able to make it stick, as this is one of my best moves personally that I think I've ever made in this game. And we're gonna try to block Albon as we're gonna lift off just a little bit early, try to let him go past us, and then gas it up. And now we're gonna have DRS, so we can't have DRS behind us. As now Albon and a couple other guys behind us go into pits as our pit window opens, as we go diving down into the pit road. As barely are able to get it slowed down, but we get it slowed down to 47 miles per hour. As Gasly's behind us. Gasly and Ricciardo come in with us as the new feature, the turn in. We have a nice, perfect turn in, so optimal. As we put on the hard tires, not my favorite set of tires, but we have a really good pit stop. We're able to gain a little bit on Pierre Gasly, but on that out lap, nothing really too exciting happens except Gasly on the same lap. Gasly comes and tries to make a move like Daniel Ricciardo does, but also same fate that happened with Daniel Ricciardo and goes way off track. As now that puts him behind us. Alexander Albon is going to make a move on us here. We're going to squeeze him down, so we have to compromise his line to try to overtake us. So we break a little bit early. We get into the back of him a little bit, but he is able to make that move as we just got done by Williams. Not my proudest moment, but more guys are in pits, including my teammate Lundgaard. As we cut to a replay here as I make one of my best overtakes ever. We go 3 wide between Lundgaard and Alexander Albon, make the overtake on them, and then make the overtake with a little bit of contact on Esteban Ocon. It's a 3-for-1 deal in the first 2 corners, as that is personally one of my best overtakes. As now here comes Esteban Ocon. We make a tiny little bit of contact. I get a little bit loose, but now I'm going to cut back to the outside of him as we're going to do the same thing that we did to Alexander Albon on that lap earlier. And we're going to go around the outside of Esteban Ocon through this part of the track right here and make the overtake after we have to go a little bit wide because the car just would not turn in. I checked for damage because we make a little bit of contact, but we are all good there. As he is going to have another look behind at us because he is going to have DRS down this front stretch. As like I said, the AI have overpowered speed on straightaways. Codemasters really need to get that fixed as it's very broken. As he's just able to come flying at us. And I'm running the 4th preset, so we have increased downforce, so we should be a little bit faster on the straights, but it's still nothing compared to an AI with DRS and using ERS because they have such overpowered straight line speed. Well, we're still able to hold our own against Ocon, but now he's going to come back on lap 18 and make a move, but we're going to dive down the inside again. Another really good overtake as he came past us. He had to compromise his line, as now he's coming back again as we're just having one amazing scrap here in this race. We're on lap 21 now. He's almost able to clear us coming off this corner, but we're going to stay side by side through the heart of the second sector. We make a tiny little bit of contact. We door slam a little bit as now he cuts and he just kind of slams into my car, kind of compromising his own line, trying to take the line even though he doesn't realize I'm there. And the same thing happens as we go down this downhill turn 10, as I'm thinking he's going to go wide because I'm still here, but no, he squeezes me down and he's still running into me at this point, which is slowing us both down, as allows Kevin Magnussen to go just flying right past us, as me and Esteban Ocon are still battling. And Alexander Albon is now going to take a look down my inside as I dive down, make a little bit of contact with Magnussen's back, and Albon hits me in the side, but I'm able to clear both of them, and we come away with no damage, as now we need to start to focus and try to pull away from these guys behind us, and just try to hold on to a P9 and maybe even get to P8. But we come down to the front stretch on lap 22, and we are trying to start to pull away, but Esteban is going to have a little bit of a look, as he has DRS, but I have DRS too. I'm surprised that I was not able to run down Kevin Magnussen here, because I had DRS and he didn't. But his car was just like so much faster than I am. And for some reason I paused again. I was probably checking something. But we keep going, probably making sure I was still recording, or changing a song or something, because I was listening to music. But we still have DRS on Kevin Magnussen, even though he's able to run us down. And this is where I try to start to pull away from Esteban Ocon. As we come to lap 25, and it has worked, I've absolutely pulled away from Esteban Ocon. But Magnussen has pulled away from me, so I lost DRS, but I have a 2.6 second gap to Esteban Ocon as we come to the last lap, because nothing else happened after that lap, and it's Charles Leclerc who's going to come off the final corner to win the opening race of the season. He wins the Bahrain Grand Prix as we come off the final corner as well, as it was a good start and a pretty good finish too, as we're going to come across the line to finish P9 here at Bahrain. Good race from us, as I'm pretty happy with the result. It's a P9 from P14, so about 5 positions gained. So I feel like a very good race for me and the team, as Christian Lundgaard gets driver of the day because he finished P12. As now we hear what these commentators have to say.
For another spectacular Grand Prix here in Bahrain, and a real champion's drive to take the win. And talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
With Charles Leclerc taking the win and Carlos Sainz finishing P2, that means Charles Leclerc will lead the championship going into Jeddah, and Ferrari will lead the constructors standings, as Max Verstappen was able to secure a podium spot for Red Bull in P3. As it's a great race for Ferrari and Red Bull, as Ferrari finishes 1-2 and Red Bull finishes 3-4, and Mercedes finishes 5-6, and then it's Lando Norris, Kevin Magnussen, I don't know why I said my name in third person, Esteban Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Christian Lundgaard with a great race, Valtteri Bottas also with a great race, Daniel Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, Guan Yu Zhou, Lance Stroll, the two Williams, Sebastian Vettel, and then both of the AlphaTauris did DNF from engine failures, so and those are both Red Bull engines, so we need to watch out. Hopefully the same thing doesn't happen to us next race. As I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll be trying to getting these out every couple days, because I have a lot of fun recording these and a lot of fun commentating these, even though they suck. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.